Hello. Good morning. It is very early. Well, for some, it's 6:30 a.m. But I wanted to come on here live this morning to talk about wholeness and how winter is such a good time to find that within yourself. So, hi, Saul. I assume people will probably see this in the replay since it is so early, but I'm here to talk about wholeness and the winter opportunity to discover inner wholeness. And partially, of course, I'm here to promote my winter wholeness group it'll be starting early January. Open to men and women. I'd really like to get some men this time because in honor of wholeness and having all the genders present. And I wanted to show you this flyer because there's an owl on it. And I want to start with a little story of why the owl to me is such a symbol of how I experience inner wholeness. So one day, and it was winter, I was skiing. I was backcountry skiing and I was by myself. And I was up somewhere called Lanham Lake. And I skinned past the lake and I was going to skin up these ski runs that a lot of us, it's safe to be out there by yourself on that day. And it was in the woods. Beautiful trees, huge, some old growth. And I was just feeling this deep, just discontent. I felt like there was a lot of parts of me that weren't getting what I needed emotionally. And I was just kind of distraught and just like, I'm out here by myself and I'm lonely and all these feelings of not feeling whole. And so I'm walking along. And I just have this idea, and I was like, what would it feel like to have all my needs met? And I just asked myself that question. And it was a powerful question, and all of a sudden, everything shifted. And I realized all my needs are met. And I looked around, and I saw nature, and these trees and how the trees, the snow comes and insulates the trees and when it's cold and how everything is connected and, a tree falls and then that creates more habitat and openness in the canopy for more light so other trees can grow better, and that nature is this reflection of our actual state, which is a state of having all of our needs met. When something falters, something comes in to balance it. And I just felt it. And I was like, the evidence is everywhere. Our natural state is one of having all our needs met. This mental chatter that I don't have this, I don't have that is an illusion. All my needs are met. I just need to come to that realization. And it was very visceral, so it's hard to explain with words. And right in that moment when I felt it, an owl, I kid you not, swoops down, goes right in front of me. I'm just shocked. I'm like, what is that? That's not a raven. And it lands on the branch and just looks at me. And to me, it was just this validation from the universe, from nature, like, you got it, girl. That's it. And I've had other owl experiences in my life, and it's always been to remind me, you're whole. This situation sucks right here, but you're fine. You got this. And owls, just their presence. So anyway, that's why there's an owl. And I thought I'd start with a little story. But anyway, so this group I'm doing is going to leverage on this idea of wholeness and that you are whole. And we need to start there. And the thing with winter is that everything is settling down. Everything, the trees are bringing their roots down into the earth, which, we are all part of the whole earth. Everything's quieting, everything's settling. We're not reaching out for more this, create this. We're settling down and we're going within and we're finding the warmth in ourselves, in our families, that idea of connection. And so winter is this beautiful opportunity to connect to that warmth within. And the thing is, when we don't honor that, when we just continue, because, society is going to be like, no, you can't rest. You got to keep. When we try to keep that pace and don't honor this natural cycle of when we're supposed to kind of still and rest and go within, we can get chaotic. We don't feel like our needs are met. It's imbalanced. We're doing too much outward, and then we miss that winter opportunity, and then we keep going, and all of a sudden spring, the time of beginnings and creation, we're already burnt out. And so to come back into that place, that inner sanctuary that we all have, we all know we have, but many of us have different, we all have layers over it. I call them pockets. You get to a pocket that's just, don't feel good. And if we can push through that pocket, we'll get to that wholeness that we innately are. But so this group, we're going to go on a journey of first just, how can we all collectively in our group container slow and arrive at that place? And by signing up, you are like committing to that, because I'm not going to let you get out of it. Like, you're going to do the work and you're going to get there. So that's a big part of that. And you have that opportunity in your own life. What is it going to take? And this is very individual to you. What is it going to take for you to get to that place, to really get there? And yeah, there's layers over it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying you're going to be like, I'm whole. You're going to hit stuff that you've been avoiding on the way down that you don't want to feel. And that's okay. It's not as scary. Once you sit with it, it's going to loosen. But it is helpful to have guidance there. But you also have your innate knowing of how to do that. And just if you are about to do that, I'll just say, be gentle on yourself, and you don't have to, if you get just somewhere a little better, that's good. You don't need to, stop when it's like, okay, that's a good place to stop. Anyway, so yeah. And then in this group, once we come to that wholeness, like I said, you're going to hit those pockets, and we're going to have some real, because winter again is this beautiful time. It's a time of death and dying, right? It's a time of darkness. And darkness is that chaos, that primordial beginning. And it's actually a beautiful place of comfort. It's a womb of, you can rest here. And in that place, it's a powerful place in that quiet to let go of those layers, to be like, this is story. I am in story, and this story is not supportive, because we'd love to get away from story, right? That we're telling ourselves a story of our life, of our situation. The truth is, we can't get away from story. That's how our human minds work. That's how our human minds make sense of things. But you can empower yourself with story and choose the story you're going to choose. So in that place, we identify, we see a little clearer in that chaos, in that like nebula. Wow, this is the part. I'm going to lay this down in this darkness, in this place I've arrived. I'm going to lay this down in this supportive container, because now I'm in that beginning. I'm in that chaos of beginning. And we're going to talk about fun creation stories to kind of really juice that part up. And so, yeah, that's deeper into that stillness. And then, it's a process of, okay, I'm here in this wholeness. what are the practices, the visions, the things that are going to support this wholeness? And that's individual. And so we're going to identify these things, and we're going to help each other, and we're going to use reflection to help us all individually. We're in this collective space of wholeness that feels very similar to all of us, but I'm different. So for me, I'm doing this video almost at 6:30 a.m. because this is the time where I feel it the easiest. I just wake up and I'm like, I'm going to have my tea, I'm going to read my book, and I just feel all cozy. And so for me, it's really important to come to that space in the morning and not just start with okay, here I go with my day. Come to that space of wholeness. I feel peace, and then move on with my day. And then, talking about story, what story supports this wholeness? You may have been telling yourself, I can't do this because my family is this, or I'm restricted in this way. My body can't do this because of this. And we flip it on its head, and we really get clear in this moment of stillness that we're giving ourselves. Wait, I can tell this story to myself any way I want. I can tell myself that this challenge came into my life because it's going to bring me somewhere better within myself. And this is my soul's journey. And whatever it is, we're going to sit and we're going to really craft in this creative way. What is this story that's going to be better, so that when spring comes, I have a whole new outlook on what I'm doing, and I'm going to move forward in that way. And I'm going to do the things that I've identified as supportive to my wholeness. And again, so wholeness, it's this web. And that's what I'm really excited about at the end. I want to kind of have this web. Okay, that's your story. But how does it weave? How does it weave in the story of your family? How does it weave in the story that we, especially people, if you're listening to this, if you're a follower of mine and you appreciate what I do, you care about the planet, right? This is, we're in this crucial time. We got to switch things up the way we collectively tell the story. Oh, humans, we can just, take all the resources. It's fine because we're like visions of God or something. And it's like, okay, we're part of this earth and we got to live in harmony. And that's a new story collectively that we need to create. So how does your story weave into that new story? Because that's how it begins, right? And yeah, we're connected. It's a web. So you have this thread that is in the web of this whole earth. So there's levels of wholeness, right? So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I'm so glad you're here, Saul. I think you're the only one, even if you have me on the side. I appreciate you being here. And I hope all of you that catch the replay, please just put in the comments #replay and if you want to join this group, I'm really excited to see who shows up. I feel really inspired. I've been going through my own process around this, and so it's very informed by that. And yeah, let's honor this time. It's winter. I love doing these groups with the seasons because, spring is the time of beginnings and fall is the time of transition. And when we honor that, that's part of that wholeness. We are part of the earth, and the earth is in this period of resting and laying down the stuff that needs to die. And that stuff that dies fertilizes and composts those new beginnings, that soil that is the spring is going to sprout out of, so we can metaphorically feel that. And I did, again, I am encouraging women and men. I even check out the website for the course is in my bio. So just go to 80 Snow Dancer and it's right there under my name. And you can see all the details, cost, when it is, how you can sign up. And I changed the website a little because I always use archetypes, and so I was using Parvati and Inanna and all these goddess archetypes. But I threw in Ra who is the sun god. So putting in a male archetype, and that's going to be at the very end, when the sun is kind of getting brighter near the end, to really, shine light on what we're creating. So anyway, much love. Check out the link in my bio and PM me if you want more info about this group. I don't know if that turns around or if it's backwards, but that's okay. Okay, loves, to your wholeness and to finding the warmth within. And let's see if I know how to stop this.